Have you ever felt it? That quiet dismissal in a crowded room. The subtle scoff from a colleague who thinks you're not paying attention. It's the sting of being consistently underestimated, time and time again, by people who've never bothered to look past the surface. Maybe for years, you've been the easy target, the one they dismissed, criticized, and overlooked. You felt the weight of their judgment, the frustration of being misunderstood, and the slow erosion of confidence that comes from being perpetually undervalued. You've internalized their story, letting their careless words define your potential. You've either fought back with loud desperation, trying to prove your worth, or you've shrunk into a silence born of resignation. But both paths lead to the same place, a quiet exhaustion, a feeling of being trapped by what other people think. But what if your silence could be louder than a scream? What if your calm was more unsettling than their chaos? What if you could turn all that negativity, all those years of being misjudged, into a source of unshakable inner power? A quiet confidence so profound that it not only disarms your critics, but makes them question their own judgment, makes them quietly, deeply, regret ever underestimating you. The ancient Stoics, masters of the human mind, knew this power. They understood that the greatest battles aren't fought with others, but within ourselves. And it all begins with a simple, yet life-changing principle that can redraw the map of your inner world: the dichotomy of control. This isn't about changing them. It's about mastering you. Section 1. The Great Stoic Divide, the Dichotomy of Control. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a brilliantly simple idea, one that holds the key to real inner peace and strength. The philosopher Epictetus, a man born a slave who rose to become a respected thinker, laid it out with stark clarity. Some things are within our power, while others are not. This is the dichotomy of control, the core practice of separating what you can influence from what you can't. Think of your life as two domains. In one, you have absolute command: your beliefs, your judgments, your decisions, your actions, and the person you choose to be. This is your inner citadel, the fortress of your mind. Here, you are in charge. In the other domain is everything else: the weather, the economy, the past, and most importantly, the opinions, words, and actions of other people. These things are external. You might influence them, but you can never truly control them. They're like the wind to an archer. You can aim perfectly, but a sudden gust can still send your arrow astray. The Stoics argued that most of our suffering comes from one simple mistake. We try to control what we can't, while we neglect what we can. We exhaust ourselves trying to force others to like us, agree with us, or see our worth. We get tangled up in their validation, handing them the keys to our own peace of mind. When someone underestimates you, your first impulse is to charge into their territory, to try and correct their opinion and make them see the real you. But this is a battle you can't win, because you're fighting on foreign ground. The Stoic power you're looking for begins when you stop fighting this useless war. It begins when you pull your energy from the uncontrollable and redirect it, with fierce intention, toward your own domain. This isn't passive resignation. It's a strategic pivot. You aren't giving up. You're focusing your power where it has an absolute, undeniable impact. By mastering your own responses, you change the entire dynamic and take back the power you didn't even know you'd given away. Section 2. Principle number 1. Master your inner citadel. The first, most crucial step is to master your reactions. When someone directs a slight your way, a condescending remark, a dismissive gesture, they are looking for a reaction. Your anger, your frustration, your defensiveness, that's the prize. Your emotional response validates their power over you. They expect you to be disturbed, and when you are, you prove them right. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, arguably the most powerful man in the world at the time, faced constant criticism and betrayal. He wrote a powerful reminder to himself in his private journal, Meditations: choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. This idea is revolutionary. It says the harm isn't in the event itself, but in how you judge it. The insult is just words. The sting comes from your internal agreement with it, from the belief that you've been diminished. The person who underestimates you is just an external event. Their opinion exists outside your fortress. By choosing not to internalize their judgment, you make their attack powerless. You deny them the emotional reaction they feed on. Imagine someone throws a spark onto a stone. It dies instantly. Now, imagine they throw that same spark into a pile of dry leaves. The fire that results isn't just the spark's fault. It's the fault of the flammable material it landed on. An untrained mind, full of insecurities and needing validation, is that pile of dry leaves. A Stoic trained mind is the stone. When you're underestimated and you meet it with a quiet, unshakable calm instead of anger, something fascinating happens. Your critic is disarmed. They threw their spark expecting a fire, but got nothing. Their power depended on their ability to disturb your peace, and you've just shown them your peace is not for sale. This isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about observing them, seeing them as first impressions, and then consciously choosing not to let them rule you. It's the practice of saying, "That's your opinion. It's outside my control. My response, however, is mine." And in that quiet, internal declaration, you've already won. Section 3. Principle number 2. The strategic silence that speaks volumes. In a world that thinks noise equals importance, silence is a forgotten power. When we're faced with disrespect, our instinct is to fill the air with words, to defend, explain, and justify. We think if we just find the right words, we can force them to see the truth. But the Stoics knew that more often than not, silence is the strongest response. It's a strategic choice to withdraw your energy, and that move speaks louder than any argument. The philosopher Seneca, who navigated the treacherous courts of Emperor Nero, understood that fighting every battle is a fool's errand. He wrote that it takes two to quarrel. By refusing to participate, you don't lose the argument, you dissolve it. When someone underestimates you, they're inviting you into a conflict, a drama they've created. Your silence is you declining that invitation. It's a quiet declaration that you don't value their opinion enough to waste your energy on it. This isn't a weak, defeated silence. It's a powerful, deliberate choice. It's the silence of a mountain that stands unmoved by the howling wind. It communicates that their words have no effect, that their judgment carries no weight. This lack of reaction creates a vacuum. The person who tried to provoke you is left alone with the echo of their own words. This can be deeply unsettling for them. They expected a fight, a reaction. Instead, they got a calm that implies their entire effort was meaningless. Think of it this way. When you argue with someone who disrespects you, you're confirming their position is worth debating. You're putting them on your level. Your silence, on the other hand, reframes the entire interaction. It says, "Your assessment is so far from my reality that it doesn't even deserve a response." This isn't about giving someone the silent treatment. It's a dignified choice to protect your peace and refuse to be dragged into pointless chaos. This strategic silence makes people think twice. They see their usual tactics don't work on you. You operate on a different level, one they can't touch with their negativity. Over time, they start to wonder what you know that they don't. They see a strength in you that doesn't need to announce itself. And in that quiet realization, their underestimation starts to crumble into regret. Section 4. Principle number 3. Transform poison into medicine. The common reaction to criticism is to get defensive. The Stoic reaction is to get curious. The Stoics taught that every event, even a negative one, is a chance to grow. This includes being underestimated or unfairly criticized. Instead of seeing it as a personal attack, the Stoic sees it as data. It's information that can be analyzed and used. Epictetus famously advised, "If you learn that someone is speaking ill of you, don't try to defend yourself against the rumors. Respond instead with, 'Yes, and he doesn't know the half of it, because he could have said more.'" This response is brilliant. First, it disarms the critic with humor. But more deeply, it shows incredible self-awareness and security. It shows you aren't afraid to look at your own faults. When you're underestimated, your first job is to sift through the criticism with radical honesty. Is there a kernel of truth in what they're saying, no matter how badly it was delivered? Maybe their comment about your lack of assertiveness, while meant to hurt, points to a real area for improvement. Maybe their dismissal of your ideas reveals a flaw in how you communicate them. By treating criticism as a free, if unsolicited, consultation, you turn poison into medicine. You use their negativity as fuel for your own self-improvement. This means you have to separate the signal from the noise. The noise is their rudeness, their poor delivery, their own insecurities. That part is external and should be thrown away. The signal, however, might be a valuable insight into one of your blind spots. You can imagine how frustrating this is for someone trying to hurt you. Their goal is to see you wounded or defensive. When you respond with calm self-examination and, even better, actual improvement, you've taken their weapon and reforged it into your own tool. They see that not only did they fail to harm you, they actually made you stronger. They underestimated your ability to handle their negativity, and you proved them wrong by using it to your advantage. You showed them you're not fragile, but anti-fragile. You don't just endure shocks, you get better from them. This quiet, steady growth, powered by the very negativity they aimed at you, is a powerful thing to witness. It forces them to reevaluate not just you, but the uselessness of their own approach. Section 5, Principle number 4, the armor of negative visualization. One of the most counterintuitive Stoic exercises is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This practice involves deliberately imagining challenging situations before they happen. You might visualize being criticized in a meeting, being overlooked for a promotion, or dealing with a disrespectful person. This isn't about being a pessimist. It's a form of psychological armor. As Seneca said, what is quite unlooked for is more crushing in its effect, and unexpectedness adds to the weight of a disaster. By thinking about potential insults in advance, you strip them of their most potent weapon, shock. You're no longer caught off guard, and your emotions aren't hijacked by a sudden fight-or-flight response. When you've already imagined the sting of being underestimated, the actual event feels familiar. You've already walked this path in your mind. You've rehearsed your response, not a script, but an internal posture of calm. When the moment comes, you're prepared to meet it with reason instead of raw emotion. This preparation projects an aura of being unshakably prepared. While others might crumble or react emotionally, you remain composed. Your calm isn't a fake front. It's the result of mental training. People who underestimate you expect to see you flustered or hurt. When they're met with someone who seems to have anticipated their move and remains completely unfazed, it's deeply unsettling to them. It's like they planned a surprise attack, only to find you calmly waiting for them. Their attempt to throw you off balance fails, because you've already grounded yourself in the reality that these challenges are a part of life. They see you're not naive, you're resilient. You're not weak, you're fortified. This quiet, prepared strength forces them to reconsider. They assumed you were fragile. Your calm composure proves them wrong in the most direct way possible. They'll start to wonder what else they got wrong about you. Their underestimation was based on a perception of weakness, but your practiced resilience reveals a deep, hidden strength they never saw coming. Section 6, Principle number 5, see their soul, not their insult. When someone treats you with disrespect, our natural tendency is to focus on the insult. The Stoic, however, trains to look deeper, past the words and into the character of the person speaking them. Marcus Aurelius gave himself this advice. When you encounter someone's shamelessness, ask yourself, is a world without shameless people possible? No. Then don't ask the impossible. There have to be shameless people in the world. This is one of them. This shift in perspective is incredibly freeing. It depersonalizes the attack. You start to see the insult not as a reflection of your worth, but as a symptom of their own inner state, their ignorance, insecurity, or unhappiness. You aren't the target. You're just the nearest object for their own inner turmoil. Marcus Aurelius also advised looking into the souls of critics to understand their nature, which would lessen your anxiety about their opinions. When you do this, you often find not a formidable judge whose opinion matters, but a person struggling with their own demons. The arrogant colleague might be masking deep insecurity. The dismissive family member might be acting out a lifetime of their own frustrations. Seeing this doesn't mean you excuse their behavior. It means you understand it. And understanding robs it of its power to harm you. You wouldn't get angry at a dog for barking. You recognize it's in its nature. In the same way, when you see that a person's negativity is a product of their own character flaws, you can meet it with detachment, even pity, rather than anger. This gives you a psychological edge. While they're trying to get a reaction from you, you are calmly analyzing them with the clarity of a physician diagnosing a patient. They think they're judging you, but in reality, their every word is revealing more about themselves. This calm, analytical gaze can be incredibly disarming. They expect you to be emotionally invested in their opinion. Your detached observation shows them you are not. It subtly communicates that you're operating from a higher ground of understanding. They came looking for a fight on their level, but you've elevated the interaction to a psychological study of their own character. This shift in power can be profoundly unsettling and often leads them to regret engaging with you on such a superficial level. Section 7. The Ripple Effect. How the world sees your newfound strength. This journey of internal mastery isn't just about deflecting negativity. It's about building a presence that commands respect without ever asking for it. The changes you make are internal, but their effects ripple outward, changing how the world sees and interacts with you. A person who has mastered the dichotomy of control gives off a quiet confidence that is magnetic. This isn't the loud confidence of someone trying to prove something. It's the deep, settled confidence of someone who knows their worth isn't up for debate. This person doesn't get drawn into petty arguments. They aren't emotionally volatile. They listen more than they speak, and their words carry weight. They're resilient, treating obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities. These are the qualities of a natural leader, a trusted friend, and a respected individual. People are drawn to those who have inner peace, who seem like an anchor in a chaotic world. Your critics, those who once saw you as an easy target, will watch this transformation with a mix of confusion and awe. They will see you navigate situations that once would have broken you with grace. They will see others begin to seek your advice and value your opinion. They will see you moving forward with purpose, completely unbothered by the noise that used to consume you. Their old picture of you, weak, reactive, insignificant, no longer fits the person standing before them. The gap between their outdated judgment and your new reality becomes impossible to ignore. This is where the regret truly sets in. It isn't a regret born from a single fight, but from the slow, undeniable realization that they completely misjudged your character. They underestimated not just your abilities, but your capacity for growth. They were playing a short-term social game, while you were doing the long-term work of building an unbreachable fortress inside yourself. This path of Stoic power isn't easy, but it is available to anyone willing to do the work. It begins with the simple, daily practice of observing your thoughts, choosing your responses, and focusing on what you truly control. If this message resonated with you, and if you're ready to stop being a target and start becoming a fortress, then like this video and subscribe for more wisdom on building unshakable inner strength. I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me which of these principles you're going to start practicing today. Is it mastering your inner citadel, or transforming poison into medicine? Sharing your commitment is the first step in making it real. The greatest power you can wield is the power over yourself. For years, you may have let the opinions of others dictate your emotional life. You gave them the power to lift you up with praise and crush you with criticism. But that ends now. The Stoic path teaches that your inner world is your own. It is the one place where you are truly in charge. By embracing the dichotomy of control, you learn to guard this kingdom with wisdom and discipline. You learn that true strength isn't about never being underestimated. It's about what you do when you are. It's about meeting negativity not with more negativity, but with a quiet, impenetrable calm. The people who underestimated you may or may not ever admit their mistake. They may never apologize. And that doesn't matter. Their regret is not the prize. The prize is your peace. The prize is your freedom. The prize is the unshakable inner strength you built while they were busy making noise. You didn't seek to defeat them. You sought to become someone they could no longer touch. And in that quiet, personal victory, you'll find a power more satisfying than any external validation they could ever offer. You will have become the master of your own soul.